Welcome everybody back to A&M in the AM, episode 5, I believe.
Yes, the
Five.
Big Five.
The Big Five, and for the Big Five, we have big things. We're in our makeshift studio right now. I mean, not all of it's done. We got our setup in front of us ready for this. We still got some other things to hang up. We were going to have a video come out on Tuesday to show you the setup and everything, but due to everything going on in the world, I think we're going to postpone that video to Thursday.
I was thinking either Thursday or next week. Yes.
Yeah, we're going to postpone that video to Thursday or next week, whenever we can get it out for you guys. But yeah, we're live. We've been, for the past month and a half, we've been just over Zoom with me and him for A&M and the AM and the Buds podcast. We're still going to be on the Buds podcast for Zoom, but for A&M in the AM, we're going to be here, me and him, and then at least I'm going to be in the studio for the Buds podcast. So
I just want to take a moment of silence for Zoom.
Yeah,
it's a fallen soldier for this.
I mean, yeah, we Zoom was something that we relied on for a while. We love Zoom.
It's very good to us.
It's a great app to use. I mean,
no
shout out
sponsorship though.
Yeah, shout out Zoom if you want to sponsorship us. Just want to point that out. But to start off the video, I wanted to talk about everything that's going on in the world right now, because at first it was something that we didn't want to talk about for the fact of you can say something and you can be pointed at and be called names if you don't side with a certain thing. But now it's starting to creep into the sports world, and a lot of white and black athletes are coming out. I know the NBA just started a group of coaches that they're going to take steps to make more equality in basketball and just throughout the world in the U.S. So there's a lot of things happening now more in sports. I know a lot of athletes have been going to these protests, and just a lot of people are starting to be more outspoken about this, which you should be. I mean, this is a horrible situation. A man was killed in broad daylight for no reason. It wasn't right. And I mean, I think the only message that we need to get through here is that we as people need to be better. No matter your color, no matter your race, no matter your gender, no matter anything, everyone just needs to be better, and this world will be a better place. And I think that's all we're really going to speak on this, because like I said, we didn't want to get into it in the first place. We're a sports podcast. We're a small podcast to begin with. We didn't want to, I mean, it's right to touch on social issues, but this is something bigger than this is something bigger than anything right now. So we didn't want to talk about it, but I felt personally that was necessary to. So that's our take on it. Do you have anything else to say, Mort?
No, I think you summed it up perfectly.
Okay. So getting into our topics for today, I when I was talking more about what we were going to talk about today, I brought up J.R. Smith because on May 31st, a couple days ago, he got in a fight with a guy trying to break into his car. It was.
Yes.
So
that broken his window.
That kind of went viral because he pieced up the guy. And there was a video of it all. And then yesterday, I think someone tweeted out a meme that May 31st is now J.R. Smith Day.
Which I didn't even think about, by the way.
Because what was in 2017 it was? I can't remember when. In 2017, that was the same day he didn't pass LeBron the ball in the finals, and it forced the Cavs and Warriors to OT, and then eventually the Cavs lost that game.
Which he actually said on our favorite Pat McAfee show. Mm-hmm. He said that, I don't know if he was just saying it or not, but he doesn't think that changed the series. He doesn't think that changed the game. He felt they had no business winning that series, he said. So, I don't know.
I mean, to take into effect, let's say he would pass that ball. LeBron's history of making clutch shots. I know you're a LeBron fan. I support LeBron. LeBron's history of making clutch shots, though, would he have made that shot?
Yeah, well, they didn't even need to make the shot. He could have just put the layup up. He caught the ball on a rebound. Just put it back up.
No, but the fact was LeBron was trying to get the ball at least too.
Yeah, he was telling him to go back to the rim, but I mean, LeBron's got the most clutch shots made in the playoffs in history.
I mean, I feel like it would have affected the series, but you really don't
I feel like somebody was wide.
It's all because probably Kyle Korver.
Brown would have gotten it, and somebody was wide.
Kyle Korver would have probably bailed him out. But it's one of those what ifs that we're never gonna know if it would have changed the impact of the series, or I mean, I don't think they would have won the series personally. Golden State
would have been nice to be at least one game though.
Yeah, Golden State was too overpowered that year with KD, and I think the Cavs were battling injury anyway that year too, because I think Love was out. I want to say
he might have been. I mean, he's always out, so
yeah.
I don't remember.
I personally don't think it would have affected this series that much. That's all I gotta say about that. You said you had a hot take to make though about JR?
Yes. Continuing my Pat McAfee love. I was watching his show from the first, so yesterday at the time of World 2 days for this one, but he had JR on to discuss the fight that he had gotten into, but he had also said that the famous bike rides that him, AD, and LeBron have been on. I don't know if you've seen that. Like, people have been saying LeBron, AD, and JR have been riding their bikes around LA.
I didn't know JR was with them. I thought it was just LeBron and the rest of the Lakers.
No, it was those three, and then people think there's more, but I don't know.
I thought I saw who else? I thought fucking
I would assume Kuzma or somebody, but
yeah, I thought Kuzma was with them, and then I thought Rondo was with them too.
I don't know. I've only seen JR, but Pat asked him if they've been talking about like the season resuming and what they were doing in Florida and stuff, and JR said yeah, he was actually planning on possibly joining a team for the playoffs or whatever they do. He was going to sign since he's been ready. He's been working out. He's been showing teams that he's been working. And he kept saying we when talking about LeBron and AD. He's like we talked about coming back, and we talked about how the playoffs would be. I just think the Lakers still have another roster spot left. If JR comes out of nowhere and saves the day in Orlando, I think the narrative for JR would just get even better.
But do the Lakers still have Deion Waiters, or did they release him again?
I don't.
Because I thought he took up their last roster spot.
I don't remember. I don't even remember him being on the team, to be honest with you.
I don't think he ever played, but he was definitely on the team before all this went down. Let me look it up.
I think they still have another spot, but the thing everybody forgets. This is my hot take.
Mm-hmm.
Not only JR, but everybody forgets that DeMarcus Cousins is still there.
No, he got released.
Yes, but they said they were saving him a spot too for the playoffs because he was supposed to be ready. For the original playoffs.
And he was still hanging out with them.
Practicing with them, working out with them.
You're right.
He was supposed to be ready for the original playoffs to possibly play. He's had an extra month, well, maybe 2 months at the time, or month and a half. I think the man's going to come back in the playoffs for the Lakers, and I think he might do good.
I didn't even think about that he's had extra months to. But, see, are they going to take this into a fact of if you were injured, you can't come back or something? Or is the NBA going to come up with a rule?
I feel like they'll let it happen because then it'll keep even more eyes on their playoff format, no matter what they do.
You're right.
It'll bring even more eyes, and with these secret practices the Lakers have been putting on, I feel like Cousins has been there, and I feel like he's been doing okay. Nobody's been talking about him.
So Deion Waiters is on the roster.
Oh, he'll just peace out.
And they have 1, 2, 3, 4.
They have a ton of guards.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. They have 15 people on the active roster, so their roster's full.
So they would dip Deion for JR.
No, they would probably drop Dudley.
I was gonna say Dudley Brothers, but I don't know.
No, he's a rookie. I was gonna say Taylor Horton Tucker. They would drop him. He's a guard.
Yeah. Dudley Brothers has been such a big part of like the meme team for them that I think he would stick around.
And then they got Kostas Antetokounmpo, and
I think he could also do.
But he's a two-way, so he doesn't matter to the official roster.
But don't they get expanded like at other sports? Don't they get like 1 or 2 spots for playoffs in case of an injury or something?
No, I think that was part of or a proposal they were trying to get, but I don't think it's I don't think it happened at
I
all.
don't know. I think they go JR over Dion Waiters. I don't know if Dion was ever supposed to actually be on the team.
I mean, let me see if he actually even played. I don't think
I don't
I
think he
remember
played.
seeing him warming up with them, but I don't actually remember seeing him play in a game at all. Career stats, okay. Yeah, it doesn't show he played at all.
Yeah, I don't think he was just there
He played
for
3
whatever.
games for Miami this year and averaged 9.3 points, but that's all he did this year.
It's because of those edibles that he
Yeah.
had an issue with on the plane.
But you might be right but they would have to drop 2 spots. They would have to drop 2 people from that team if they want JR and Cousins to come.
I think they said though at the time that it was going to be like Cousins was on some injured reserve thing where he could come back, saying that he was injured, that he was still on the team. That's why like they had originally dropped him, but then moved him to somewhere else and said and like made it technical so that way he was okay to be practicing with them.
It says he's a
So
free agent from what I'm seeing. Yeah, it says he's a free agent.
I'm not. When he originally got dropped, I saw that Woj had said he was staying with the team to work out and practice to hopefully be back with them by the end of the season.
See, I think he can. I think he's allowed to stay with them as long as he doesn't sign with another team, and he didn't want to sign with another team. So he was allowed to hang around and hang out with them as long as he didn't sign with another team.
I think he shows up come playoff time.
Because like say I was an NBA player, I could go play with the Detroit Pistons as long as I was a free agent. But like if I'm on another team, then that kind of is tampering. As long as you're a free agent, you can go to whatever team you want.
To be honest, the Pistons aren't like a free agent team, so I feel like you could make it.
Probably. I mean, don't even have to be good. They'll probably get good medical from them.
Could.
Get the knee back in shape.
Maybe. Detroit Mercy.
No, not anymore. They moved like 10 years ago.
Oh, oops.
Wait, Detroit Mercy?
Yeah.
The college?
The hospital.
Oh, I thought you were talking about.
No.
I thought you were talking about the Detroit Shock, the WNBA team.
They had no point in being there.
I mean, yeah, they moved to Oklahoma and then they got disbanded.
Oh, makes sense.
But another thing that is happening in the NBA tomorrow, Thursday, they are going to be having their weekly meeting they've been having, but this week it's going to be for the like kind of to solidify what the playoffs and what Orlando's going to look like. From everything that I've been seeing and that's been being reported is that they're going to go with a 20 to 22 team playoff, but they're leaning towards the 20, which means 4 extra teams make it into the playoffs. And from what I've been seeing is that they're trying to just get the West teams into the playoffs, the teams that were fighting.
They're I don't want to say they've earned it,
mm-hmm.
but they deserve it more than the East teams.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Any of them
without a doubt. I mean,
there, but especially just because they want it to be the Zion playoffs.
Because if you get the East teams in there, you're getting like Charlotte and Washington, which don't deserve to be in the playoffs. I mean,
no, but neither do the Kings or Pelicans.
I mean,
or Spurs.
It wouldn't be the Spurs, I don't think, though. Would it?
I think the Spurs were on the outside looking in.
Let me see real fast here.
I think it was the Mavs.
It's okay. The 4 teams are the Pelicans, or not the Pelicans, or well, yeah, the Pelicans, but Portland, New Orleans, San Antonio, and Sacramento. So yeah, there you're right.
So
and Sacramento was 5 games out of the playoffs.
And so were the Spurs and Pelicans were right there too.
Yeah, Spurs were 5 games out. Oh, Sacramento was 4 games out. I read that wrong. Pelicans were 4 games, and then Portland was 3 games.
I mean, whoever, I don't know if like betting still counts, but whoever bet at the beginning of the season that the Pelicans would make the playoffs just because of Zion, if they make it because of this format and somebody wins that bet.
See, I'm interested to see. So, say season comes to the end. Let's say, not saying this is true. Let's say OKC pulls out a title.
Ooh. Does
that count as a true title, or is there always going to be an asterisk next to that?
I don't want to favoritism or like make it sound like I'm just promoting one person, but the Thunder or anybody win it, it's a legit title. the Lakers win it, oh, it's a shortened season, doesn't count. Short playoffs, weird season.
Okay, no, but say the Bucks win it. Or is there gonna be asterisks? They're one of the best teams in the.
Everybody's like Giannis is the best player ever.
Okay.
Double standards.
But then I feel like if like the Pelicans sneak in, somehow Pelicans win it. Asterisks. They're not gonna say, oh, shortened season.
Yeah, but then they also say, oh, Zion's the best. See, look, he's everything we said he would be, a big meatball.
See, I feel like if the Lakers, Portland, New Orleans, San Antonio, Sacramento, or Memphis wins it, asterisk. But if any other team there wins it, oh, okay, yeah, they played good this season. Or if Orlando or Brooklyn wins it, asterisk.
Oh, yeah, because they had no business to be in there in the first place.
Yeah. Because, I don't know.
But that's a big upset. That's the Magic beating the Bucks.
Well,
and the Nets beating the Lakers.
They also haven't officially come out and say what the format's going to be. Are they going to do regular? Are they going to do a play-in for those 4 teams that make it, and then just go regular conferences? Are they going to do no conferences? Like, we don't know yet.
That's the part I was wondering about. How in the world are you going to name an Eastern Conference winner if the Lakers would technically be on the Eastern side?
And that's what I'm saying. Is there always going to be an asterisk no matter what happens?
I think there would have to be. But
is there always,
on who wins it?
Is there always going to be an asterisk next to this season? And, I mean, I feel like no matter who wins it, there always should be. Because this was a weird season. Yes, they truly did win it. But
a shortened season.
Yeah, a shortened season. Weird playoff format. There should be an asterisk no matter what. And the other thing that's going to be talked about on Thursday is a lot of the smaller cities are trying to push for a 30-team playoff. So it would be all 30 teams.
So weird. Because they want to do March Madness.
Yeah, basically. They want to do March Madness, but I think with longer series. I don't think they want to do the 3 to 5 game series.
I would assume so because they really, I don't know, because with hockey coming back and other stuff, it's not like they would have all. I mean, they would have all the eyes over hockey.
I mean, yeah, because with hockey, you got the top 4 teams from each division or from each conference, and then you got play-in for the rest of you got a 5 series play-in. So, I mean,
I think the basketball could do that if they want the eyes. If baseball is still doing some weird stuff and hockey's the only thing back then.
I mean, yeah. I feel like basketball is going to try to do whatever they can to get the eyes on them because these next couple months, when these sports start to come back, you're going to see the highest ratings that you've ever seen in TV history because people aren't going to be able to go to the games, so they're going to probably nationally televise these games as much as they can to the most audience that they can.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like it definitely should be interesting. And now another thing you brought up was baseball. They're in a really weird position because we went from talking on Friday, I believe, to them not even having baseball to now them possibly going, or we went from them having 144 games that the players were proposing to now MLB saying, oh, we'll give you 50 games with
the full salaries, which is really weird.
Which I don't. How are they doing that? What do they mean by full salary? Are they doing full salary for 50 games?
It's looking better that they could have a season, but I saw that this is the last week that it's possible that they could vote for it. But I don't know why the owners had an issue paying for a longer season, but they'd rather pay for a shorter season.
Yeah, right here, our buddy Jeff Passan.
Jeff's canceled, by the way.
What?
Jeff's canceled.
Why is he canceled?
Because of what he tweeted yesterday.
What did he tweet?
The Old Takes Exposed account was retweeting some of his stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
And he had tweeted in 2012 that Trout was a bum. And the Old Takes Exposed retweeted it, and Jeff had responded and said, no, I was only saying this because it was out of sarcasm. It was due to the MVP voting. Yeah. That I feel Mike Trout should have won over Miguel Cabrera. So then I in return tweeted Jeff is over, or Jeff is canceled.
But Jeff, okay, that was just you. Jeff is not canceled.
I was the only person.
Oh yeah, I got this tweet right here. um, he quoted himself that guy Trout, what a bum. And he said, "Love when people dig up old tweets with no context and send to old takes exposed." Context on October 1st, 2012, Mike Trout went 4 for 5 with 3 RBIs. This was sarcasm. I stumped for him for MVP over Miguel Cabrera. An old-fashioned baseball argument. Really could use one of those.
Yeah, it was just Jeff being really canceled. That's all.
But what I was saying,
he has a big bat though.
Who does?
Jeff.
Oh yeah, he does. According to Pat McAfee, he has a big brain, but even a bigger bat. But right here, if Major League Baseball and the players can't come to an agreement on a return to play deal, the league has discussed implementing a season in the 50-game range and paying players full purported salaries. So, and what I've heard is that the if the players aren't agreeing, that the owners will start bringing in replacement players.
And like I said on Friday, when I pulled out my glove, I said I'm ready to go.
So I mean, but that doesn't make sense with them releasing all these minor leaguers.
I mean, the Yankees just lost 45 guys.
Yeah, and that's from all levels. So I don't. It doesn't make sense so you're releasing guys that are somewhat pro level, and then you're like, oh, we'll just bring in replacement players. Like that's like the NFL bringing in replacement refs. It's not going to go over well
because they know people will play for any amount of money. But the thing is, for the Yankees to be the team that released the most players, for them to be the one doing that is kind of ironic because they're the team that always pays for everybody. So yeah. For them to be having an issue with money is kind of weird.
But I mean, I feel like at this point, everyone's having an issue with money. It's not.
I mean, it's not really an issue. They're just refusing to spend their money.
Yeah, I guess. Like everyone else.
Because
like the White
a few million is not going to make a difference in your $1 billion account.
Well, no, the major league teams only have $1 million to spend on all their minor league teams.
Because not my man, but Chris Ilitch is not hurting. If he loses a little bit of money from this season, people are going outside again. They're going to Little Caesars. He's making the money back within a few weeks.
I guess. I mean, he was still making money. It's not like Little Caesars closed. Most of them have drive-through now.
Exactly.
So
I don't know why, especially like guys like that would have an issue.
And see, so this 50-game proposal, this is only if they don't come to a deal this coming
they have until this week.
Basically. Yeah. So if they don't come to, I think the 144 games is still on the table technically. That they said they don't like it. They basically already declined it, but the meeting hasn't been official yet. I don't think. So then if they can't come to terms this week, then the owners are going to propose the 50 games and full salaries.
Because people were saying, well, how in the world? People already complain that baseball has too many games as it is and everything. Yeah. How are they going to play 140 games in 3 months, basically? Because they're trying to finish before football and basketball and be done by October and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just because they're playing double headers.
Yeah. And that, from what I think we talked about, it would have been about 5 Buds podcasts ago, how they would be playing double headers almost every weekend.
Yeah, it makes sense because... Like I had seen, you don't have to worry about scheduling a time because fans won't be there.
Yeah.
So you'll just be able to play whenever, and then you'll have the taxi squads to come up and down for the rest and everything. Yeah. So it just all makes sense.
Because it would be I forget what it was. You got like 40. You got your full 40-man roster there basically, or I think it was 30-man or something.
You had like 30 or 40, and then plus the 20 or something like that.
It was something.
So it was 50 to 60 players at all times.
Which would be interesting, but I feel like most players would still want to play no matter what, just get the stats.
Oh yeah, that's why they're saying that this players want a longer season, so it doesn't hurt their stats. The ones that are going to be free agents this year, they want to be able to get a bigger contract because like they can't. I mean, I think owners would understand that it was a shorter season, so they can't look at their stats from this season. But like, it's the guys that are trying to.
You would have to look at their stats and then throw it into what a full season would look like there.
Yeah, you could. It's just if somebody starts off real slow and they only play 50 games, that's an uphill battle.
Or if a guy comes out and hits 10 home runs in the first 10 games, you're gonna be like, oh, okay, is he gonna hit a home run every game now?
I mean, I saw that if they only played 50 games, they were projected to have the Tigers home run leader be C.J. Cron
I did see that.
4.
Yeah, and then it would be Miguel at like 20
RBIs and Jacoby Jones at 2 stolen bases,
which would
like
be
that, or 6, whatever, something like that.
which would be one of the worst seasons in MLB history, I believe.
Hey, but if they did that, Kumar Rocker next year, they could have Kumar Rocker if they were successfully able to get 3 straight number 1 picks.
I don't know who that is.
Hashtag tank for Torkelson.
Well, you did say the other day, I don't think you said it live on anywhere, but you did say you had possibly another guy going number 1 in the MLB draft.
I had thought about it. I'd been doing the research, and some things were messing with my head, but I came back down to earth.
Did you retract that statement then?
Mostly, yes.
Mostly?
Because I factored in everything else that was needed and decided that my head was just not in the right place to be thinking that.
I mean, it was pretty late at night, so when you did say
it was the time where you can get influenced by anything real fast, and I didn't need to be. It's torque all the way.
Torque all the way, though. So
yeah.
I think we've talked about Monday that we're gonna do a
Yeah, Monday we should have our own mock draft created.
Yeah, we're gonna do that on the Buds podcast with everybody, just like we did the NFL mock draft.
We're deciding if it's gonna be the whole first round or first I guess if we did the whole first round, it'd be every team. But
yeah, we're still So if you guys want to see, I mean, whoever's watching here, if you guys want to see first top 10 picks, when we just go more in depth, top 15, top 20, or
this draft is deep.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I know you haven't gotten a chance to look, but they're calling this one of the deepest drafts, even though people are saying it's just because it's 5 rounds, it makes it seem deep. But
yeah, so I'm confused because usually there's like
40.
Yeah, how I don't get how they can cut it down to only 5.
They're just everybody that gets drafted in the 5 gets drafted. Everybody else is a free agent. That's why they're saying a lot of high schoolers won't be in this draft, and a lot of younger college guys won't be in it.
That's just crazy to me. I've never really paid attention close to the draft at all. Paid attention the last couple of years because a couple people from our county have gotten drafted late. But that's just crazy how they can cut almost 35 rounds off of a draft.
I mean, especially in the time where they're all getting rid of their minor leaguers.
Yeah, you would think they would be more. And are there going to be the composition picks like they have after?
Yeah, they still have them.
They're okay. I was going to say.
I actually did see though. It was a good point that scouts. You'll really see what scouts have been doing their homework and planning for it, because you could have this guy that's from high school or college and have his friend not go drafted.
Yeah.
And you took the friend and the other guy didn't get drafted, and you already have a relationship with the other guy. You're like, hey, come to our team too. We know you're really good, but you didn't get drafted. And by the way, we got your friend on the team.
Yeah, I see, that is smart. Yeah, I mean, that would work perfectly there.
It just shows who's built to relationships with players and such.
Mm-hmm. So, I know last week we didn't get a chance to, but we didn't get a chance to talk about our favorite sport, KBO.
Yes.
So, I wanted to bring that up this week because personally, a lot has happened. I haven't looked at KBO stats since did we talk about it Friday even?
I think we did, yes.
I don't think we talked about it too long.
Because there was an open roast session on Dixon.
Well, I mean, that's justified.
But he did get a team win.
But now, Lotte, your favorite team, they're 11-12. They've gone on
floating around 500.
But they've gone on a low losing streak.
They were on a 4-game win streak and beat Doosan.
Doosan's 14-9. They're still doing pretty decent. Your boy Roberto Ramos, he's at 10 home runs now, leading the league by 3.
They really don't test for roids in Korea. they pop them I don't even know.
And Jose Fernandez is leading in average still. He's leading in what else was he leading in? He's second in RBIs. See, I was just looking and it said he was leading in 3 of the 6 stats that they keep. But now
I was happy to be able to watch that Doosan and Giants game.
Mm-hmm.
A few nights ago when they were finally on TV and they were finally the early game. And then I turned it on and Jessica Mendoza's doing it. I forgot the other dude's name. He always does games though. And I just fell asleep. Not because the game was boring, but because Jessica Mendoza was there. is so bad.
They need to bring on. I mean,
and the other dude with her is not any better, but I feel like he's done decent before.
I know they don't have many exciting broadcasters, but they need to bring in somebody like Joe Buck. Just get the viewership. I know he would have no idea what was going on.
He works for Fox.
Yeah, you're right, but maybe they need to make a deal with Fox there. But they need to do something to get more exciting, because I see that they ESPN, they're running the highlights. They're just showing KBO like all day, every day now. Mm-hmm. Whenever I turn ESPN, like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, look at these KBO stats from this morning."
I swear they talk about coffee more than the game. They always talk about how they need coffee, or they just brewed some, or they get some during the break.
I remember last week I woke up at like 6:30 in the morning. It was like 8th inning of Doosan versus somebody, I forget, but I woke up and the guy was sitting there and they were talking to some, I forget, he was from like the Orioles or something. It was a prospect that had played over there. And the guy, like in the middle of the interview, he was like, "I think I need some more coffee."
Yeah, they've started wearing shirts about coffee and things. Like,
really?
Yes. And then they just end up by the third inning, I'll say, they end up like Roger Goodell during the draft, just big chilling in his chair. It's like just put the game on ESPN with no commentators at this point.
Something I also want to bring up. Our early Cy Young winner Chang Mo Koo. He's now pitched 5 games. He's 4-0, and his ERA is .51. So
0.51 still? Oh my.
And Warwick has pitched 5 games, 2-2, and he is at a 2.65 ERA.
You know, ERA, if they measure it like the major leagues do in the voting, it won't matter that much. Because Hyun-Jin Ryu had the lowest ERA last year, and DeGrom still won the Cy Young.
So, what do they measure it by then?
Some nerdy stats.
Because if we're talking about them not measuring it by ERA, Warwick has 33 hits on him. Our boy Chang Mo Koo up here has 12 through 5 games.
See, he's
still in
spitballs, and
he's a different breed for the NC Dinos. He's the only reason the NC Dinos are 18-3 right now.
He's like sneezing on the ball before he throws it for additional movement, licking his fingers. He's doing something. I would check the man's glove for pine tar.
Yeah, because the NC Dino, my bad, they're 18-5, but he's doing something for him. He's won 4 of those games, so I don't know.
Can't imagine it.
But yeah, I mean, we just want to talk about the KBO there a little bit. Haven't touched on it, I know, in our podcast in almost 2 weeks now. It's been so
it's been a slow time.
Yeah, it was kind of a slow week last week for them. There wasn't really too many exciting games, so I know we'll depending on what Friday's video is for the Bud podcast, we might talk about it a little more, but maybe I know we wanted to step back on it because we could even know it was getting a bit excessive, even though we wanted to be KBO central.
It was a lot too fast.
Yeah, it was
20 minutes at a time.
Yeah, because we realized in some videos we were talking about it for 20 to 30 minutes, which was half the video.
Which is well deserved sometimes.
Yeah, which when we're getting into debates about who's the MVP, early season MVP or early season Cy Young, I mean it's deserved, but since the season's only a quarter of the way over, if that, because they play 144 games. So I mean,
just wait till the All-Star game.
They play like basically a series a week. So yeah. I can't imagine how long this is gonna take, how long their season's gonna take. But it's definitely something that we'll keep following, like we've said in the past. But I think that's all we got for this first episode here in the studio. Got anything else to say?
No, just enjoyed being here.
Yeah, I mean,
hopefully everything turned out okay.
Yeah, hopefully all the audio and all the cameras good. We did the most checks that we could. We had some issues before we started, but
if not, then it'll be fixed next week.
Yeah. But we'll have the studio setup video out
eventually.
Like I said, probably Thursday. If not Thursday, we'll have it out next Tuesday. That most definitely for you guys. We just couldn't post it yesterday because of everything going on, and there's a whole social media thing. So, and we'll have more things put up, obviously, because we kind of just set up what we could, and then we still, like I said, had a lot of things to put up and finish the room off. So yeah, I think that's all we got today. So see you on Friday for the Buds podcast, and next week Wednesday for A&M and the End. See you guys later.